Hi, welcome back to another travel video brought to you by Gary Rose Travels. Please hit the like and the subscribe button for more videos, and also visit GaryRoseTravels.com for all the best budget backpacker advice. And you can now find Gary Rose Travels on Facebook, so do please visit us there. So this video is another in my India travel guide to the Northeast, and in this video you're going to be learning all about how to stay safe in the Northeast, transport in the Northeast, and also how long will you need to travel in the Northeast. So again, with these videos I will be giving you all the best budget backpacker advice and all of the inside information that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So do please watch this video and I hope you enjoy it. So first of all, how to stay safe in the Northeast. Now if you watched my other videos you will know that the last thing you want to be doing is rocking up in an unfamiliar town late at night. So do please check your travel itinerary before you buy your tickets to Guwahati, whether that's train or bus. You don't want to be rocking up there late at night. There's quite a lot of army presence there, there's quite a lot of police presence, and these guys are there for a reason. Now it's not because people are out to rob tourists or cause trouble for tourists, it's simply because of where it's positioned in India. There's lots of borders close by, and obviously people like to come in and out of India illegally. So this is why there's quite a lot of army and police stationed up there. So just don't be walking around there late at night. Nothing bad has ever happened to us. We've not felt under threat, but that was recommended to us when we turned up there. So if you do happen to turn up at Guwahati late at night and you haven't got a hotel booked, you're not sure where it is, you don't want to be walking around trying to find your hotel, what I recommend you do is you stay at the railway station overnight. If you rock up there at like 12:30 or 1 a.m, just sit in the waiting hall, sit in the ladies only waiting hall, or if you want to, you could probably sit in the second class waiting hall because they're often quite accommodating to your needs. Just sit there, wait till first light, and then move around. You can either move for onward travel in the Northeast, or you can then go check into a hotel, but just don't be walking around there late at night. I would not advise that, but that if you do find yourself in Guwahati late at night, that is what I recommend. Just sit tight and just wait. It'll only be a few hours until it's light, and then it's absolutely fine to be moving around. So what I would recommend you do to stay safe in the Northeast is always check the local news, whether this is on the actual news channel or in local papers. Now if you can't read Hindi or you're not sure what it is being said, then always you can ask somebody to read it to you or just to explain what's happening, because as I said, people do tend to use this part of India for things like drug trafficking, drug smuggling, and also entering India illegally from other countries. There's quite a lot of refugees trying to get through India into Bangladesh. So the army presence is quite a lot now. The army and the police do not want backpackers and travellers getting caught up in this kind of trouble. So they're not going to be happy if you've accidentally wandered too far. Now these things are not really relevant to the places that I've mentioned in my posts and in my videos, but if you do head further afield, then definitely you should double check the current status before you head there. Also, if you do end up in a place where you shouldn't be, and you end up needing assistance, you need consular assistance, perhaps you need an airlift out, your insurance, and you are insured, then chances are your insurance company are not going to pay out, and chances are your government are not going to be overly keen on helping you, because if it says all but essential travel and you've still gone there anyway without checking first, then you're going to land yourself in quite a lot of trouble. So do please check the status before you end up going too far and you can't get back easily. However, although there are these threats in the northeast, the biggest threat, in our opinion, comes from under the ground. The northeast is majorly tectonically active. If you have been to Nepal, or if you've read about Nepal, if you know about India, North India area, you will know that earthquakes are really common in this part of the world. We were in Nepal when the last large earthquake struck. It was absolutely horrible, as you can well imagine. But we had to get home from Nepal, we had to fly home from there, so we were just extremely lucky that we were still able to do that. Now, if you visit Shillong you visit the church there, you will see that they have quite a lot of photographs of the last major earthquake which shook the northeast. This was about 100 years ago, and it literally shook the whole thing to smithereens. There's nothing left. So that is the ferocity of what can happen basically in the northeast, so do be aware. Now, it doesn't put us off from travelling, no dangers put us off. We still absolutely love going. Nothing bad's ever happened to us in the northeast. We think it's a wonderful place to visit. We absolutely love it. So by all means, don't let me put you off, don't let the threat of earthquake put you off. Just do be aware that it does happen. Also, you'll find that as you head into the more rural parts of the northeast, rural parts of Assam, rural parts of Nagaland, and also in Arunachal Pradesh, of course, they build their homes from natural materials. Now, in Assam, they build them on stilts because of rising floodwaters. When the flood has subsided, it all drains away through their homes, so it's not a problem. And also, they build them from natural fibres because, again, when the earthquakes do come, it will shake them, perhaps they'll fall down, but they don't get injured because they're made from bamboo and from thatch in Nagaland and Assam and Arunachal. So again, these are things to bear in mind. So if you are going to head up there and you are heading out to the remote rural areas, perhaps you're worried about what will happen in the event of an earthquake, in our opinion, we believe you're safer in the bamboo thatch homes than you are obviously in a concrete structure. You may feel safe in the town, but for us personally, they're built that way for a reason. So transport in the northeast, as you will have gathered from these videos and from my post if you've read it, shared sumo, shared jeep and shared 4x4 and sumo, these are all the same thing. Basically shared 4x4s are how you get around in the northeast. There's not many buses. The only buses there are connect the larger towns, and there's not many larger towns, so there's not many buses. And there's only really buses on the flat parts to and from Guwahati, out to Jorhat, out to Srinagar, but after that there's not many. I mean, there's a bus that goes from Shillong up to Kohima, but getting around further than that is mainly done by shared sumo. So shared sumos feature in pretty much all villages. Even the most remote rural villages will have a shared sumo stand. Perhaps they will only leave once a day or once every other day, but they will leave. Don't try and move around in the northeast on a Sunday because nothing happens at all. So if you are planning on moving at a weekend, perhaps do it on a Friday or do it on a Monday, but don't try and do it on a Sunday. And also it can be a good idea to book your tickets on the Friday for the Monday, because obviously Monday is their busiest day. Don't take your big bag, don't take too much luggage. I've spoken before about travelling light and where to leave your excess luggage. Don't travel with too much luggage because you'll either end up paying for a seat for it or it'll end up strapped to the top of a sumo. Sometimes it rains, sometimes they have tarpaulin, sometimes they don't, sometimes they charge extra for tarpaulin, which is a bit annoying. So really just help yourself out and don't travel with too much stuff, because you just going to end up carrying far more than what you actually need. What other types of transport are there? There are some trains, but not many in the northeast, and the cost for shared transport is about 100 rupees a seat, so it's quite affordable. Sometimes you might want to pay for 2 seats if you're a larger person or you're quite tall, or perhaps you just got to do a long journey. You might want to pay for 2 seats because they will cram literally as many people in as possible. Now, if you want to pay for a shared jeep, for a private jeep or a private taxi, you can. These will be at a heavily inflated cost, so if you can find some locals to share with, or even better, some tourists, but that's highly unlikely, then do this. It's best to rock up to the sumo booking counter and make inquiries is there a Jeep leaving in the next few days? If so, can I get a seat? Can I pay for 2 seats? You know, make these inquiries first. One good word of advice I would say is don't ever try and get to a sumo stand and leave that day and reach your destination that day, because 9 times out of 10 this is not going to happen. With there being not many vehicles per day, it's best to always arrange it the day before. Now, if you've watched my video on how to get to Morning Long, you will know what I advise is head to the sumo stand the night before or the day before, find out all the details. What time does it leave? How long does it take? How much does it cost? Where does it leave from? What's the number plate on the Jeep? Find out all this information before you try and make your journey, because if not, you're not going to be able to move around very quickly. Always pre-plan and pre-book where you can with sumos, because if not, it's going to be really difficult for you to get around. So how long, as another point, Guwahati does have a very small airport. We flew from Calcutta to Guwahati. It was about £50. You're only in the air for half hour, an hour at the most. It's really short flight, but it does save a lot on trains, and also if you're short on time, it can be really good. It can be really useful. Another good reason for using the airport is that you don't want to be rocking up at Guwahati, as I've said, late at night, and 9 times out of 10 this train is delayed, and also it's not a very nice train. We've got the train from Delhi to Guwahati. It was about 50 hours. We've also got the train from Calcutta up to Guwahati. It was really long. It was not a pleasant journey at all. So what I'd recommend, if you've got the time to, if you've got the money, you don't need the time because you're going to fly, but if you've got the money, then by all means book a flight. It saves a lot of hassle. But if you want to rough it and you're on more of a budget, then by all means stick with the train and just enjoy it. So how long do you need in the northeast? Obviously, if you're going to head up to Arunachal, you need a permit, and this permit is about $100 and it lasts for a month. So what I'd recommend is not going up to Arunachal unless you've got both $100 and a month to invest into it, because it's simply not worth going. What I would say is you need about 3 months for the places covered in this guide and in these videos. You probably need about 3 months. You could even do it in 4 months. 3 months is probably enough because your health does suffer after a little while. After you've been in the northeast for quite a long time, your health can suffer. This is due to like climate, and also there's not a lot of heating, all these things that we're used to. They just don't have. So once you do get a little bit cold and quite sick and your kit gets wet and mouldy, it can be quite hard to kind of claw it back. So perhaps you do need to leave, go to warmer climates for a bit, kind of restock and get yourself ready to go again. So perhaps you could do like 2 months roughing it or a month roughing it, and then head back to Shillong, kind of get yourself prepared and then head out again. This is always an option, but you will soon discover that it's not actually as easy as what people make out to head out there. So really 3 months we found at a stretch is enough, and then come back. Prepare yourself again, get your kit mended, get yourself healthy, and then head out again. That's what we tend to do when we go up there. You do need quite a long time because infrastructure is lacking, as you've noticed in these videos. Infrastructure is lacking, so by all means don't try and get to A, B and C within like 2 weeks, because it ain't going to work. I recommend you travel slowly but thoroughly, and see as much as you can, but definitely do it slowly. Don't try and do too much, because you simply won't be able to do it. Also, again, you're relying on shared sumo, private taxi, all these things. It's not easy to get around in the northeast. So yeah, that's what we recommend. Slowly is what we recommend, really. So that's it for this video. I hope you have learned something. I hope I have given you a greater insight. Please do come back next time, because I will be talking about what is your daily budget for the northeast, and also how to be a responsible traveller in the northeast. So I shall see you next time.